into the Europa League we go now, with some clubs trying to get the upper hand in the first legs and some clubs just hanging on in it. Who's going to, of course, take advantage? We're going to take a little look next. Today we'll take a look at the playoffs for the Europa League, and of course it is the first legs, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. Of course, the one-stop shop for the Europa League continues right here at Blackburn Overseas. And of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure you smash the like, smash the subscribe, and of course keep on bloody predicting. Of course, we're looking forward to the playoffs, and the Europa competitions are back. And of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure you get involved with the Prediction League, which of course we'll talk about in a second. Of course, big shout out once again to the VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. But anyway, let's turn the clock back to, of course, match number 6, that's right, and see how I got on, see how you guys got on in our very own Piccaroni League. So here we go then, recap of the results. Qarabağ with a 2-1 win over Hacken, was a spot on the nose, got that one correct. Meanwhile, Leverkusen 5-1 win over Mulder. I went with a 2-1 win on that one, not too shabby. I got myself 44 points, which is better than last time. Probably my second best in total. We were Slavia Prague with a 4-0 win over Servette. I went with a 2-0 win myself on that one. Roma 3-0 winners of the Sheriff. I went with the 2-0 win. I did play the booster on that one, got myself 8 points as well. Panathinaikos 2-1 loss to Maccabi Haifa. 2-1 win in my eyes, going the other way. Villarreal with a 3-2 win over Rennes. I went with a draw, no points there. Lasic did lose to Toulouse, who had nothing to lose. I, of course, went with a draw myself on that one. St. Gilloise with a big 2-1 win over Liverpool. Of course, I went with a 2-0 win the other way. Krakow did loss to Atalanta, 4-0 loss there. Again, I went with a draw. Sporting, of course, picked up a 3-0 win over Sturm Graz. I went with a 2-0 win. Limassol did lose to Sparta Prague. I went with a 2-1 win. It was a 3-1 win. Rangers pick up a 3-2 win over Real Betis. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Brighton 2-2 draw was my pick. 1-0 win it was over Marseille. Good result for them long term. Ajax 3-1 winners over Athens. I went with a 3-0 win as well on that one. Olympiacos 5-2 winners over Bakat Topola. I went with a 3-0 win. 5-2 final score there. And West Ham United 2-0 winners over Freiburg. I got 2-1 win as well on that one. So I did 40 odd points on that one. But what about of course, the Prediction League? Close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed. And open them again, of course. This is the state of play right now. It is Hammond Jake up there with 61 points right now. 37 is in second. This, of course, for the 1 week and 1 week only. So 826 got himself in third with 56 points. Maka fourth with 54. And then, of course, the chasing pack. There I am, all the way down into third. Not great indeed, but I'm presenting and predicting at the same time, of course. But if you do see your name in there, make sure you smash the old subscribe, of course. But let's take a look at the overall state of play for the league. Of course, here it is in all its glory. Nico's ET 322 on the points there for him. Motto's up there with 320. So 826 315, along with Furious 77. That's right. Those are the leaders right now in the medal positions. Of course, I'm in 9th, not too shabby. I really want to make it to that top 5 and maybe push for glory if I can get some good ones on the money. But of course, enough about that. We are looking forward to these next round of games. But before all that, let's of course recap those the state of play in the leagues. Of course, we're not going to see everybody in action this week. It is the playoffs. It's not the official round of 16 just yet. So West Ham United. Let's zoom in a little bit on this one. West Ham United. They won't be in action this week. Of course, Freiburg though are in action. My understanding they're in the playoffs. Of course, so the top team are through. The last 16 member or in the playoffs include the runners-up of this, as well as I think a team's coming down from the Champions League. So Freiburg are in action this week. They did finish in second spot. Olympiacos, I think they tumbled down into the Conference League to back up to Pola. Gone. Brighton, of course, not in action in Group B. Of course, they'll have this week off. Marseille, though, are in action. Ajax down to the Conference League. Athens gone home. Rangers, surprise, surprise, are through. Didn't see that coming. Sparta Prague are in action this week. Real Betis down in the Conference League. Limassol are out. Atalanta top of the charts in Group D. Sporting Lisbon, of course, in action this week. Sturm Graz going through to the Conference League on that. Liverpool also not in action this week, of course. Toulouse are in action as runners-up. Union St. Louis into the Conference League. Lazic are gone. Villarreal top charts in F. They, of course, off. Rennes in action this week. Maccabi Haifa in the Conference League. Panathinaikos are done for. And Slavia Prague, they're not here in action. They're taking it easy. Roma, though, are in action. Servette in the Conference League. Sheriff are gone. And then Group H, we'll see Leverkusen taking a break. 6-6. Qarabağ are in action today, or in this prediction here. And Mulder as well. So those are, of course, the state of play in of course, the group stages. But let's get into it, of course, and look forward to the games themselves. So here they are in all their glory. Just like before, we're going to predict them. They do have extra stuff here, first team to score and all that kind of stuff. Do that on your own time. I'm going to do that on my own time. I'm just going to get my scorelines in there, and I'll show you my booster, and then, of course, we'll take it from there. But anyway, we kick it all off with, of course, the Young Boys Burn over in Switzerland up against Sporting Lisbon. Now, these matches all take place on the 15th of Feb, which is the Thursday. Now, then these two sides, I played this just the one time. Since 2010, it was a win for Sporting. It was a 1-0 win, and we'll talk about that shortly. Young Boys Burn, then on 83% form for them right now, winning 5 of the last 6. Rafael Vicky doing a fantastic job, just 1 defeat, though, in the last 6. Of course, they've won 7 home matches in a row, and haven't lost any of the last 10 home matches, but 7 wins in a row, unbeaten in 10 at home. Meanwhile, Sporting Lisbon on 83% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Of course, that one and only win was a 1-0 win, and was a friendly way back in July 2010. Of course, Young Boys on the back of a 1-0 win over Lusan Sport. Of course, Sporting Lisbon with a 3-0 win over Leria in the Portuguese quarter-final cup. They're taking on Braga this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Young Boys are in action against Lugano on the road. They're expected to win that game. But the odds for this one, Young Boys 11-4 for the victory, 13-5 is the draw. 11-10 on, of course, is your Sporting Lisbon. Of course, I'm going to go with a draw here. I think Sporting are a decent side. I think they'll get something out of this to make it more favourable for them in the second leg. But of course, we'll take a look at that when it comes back around. Meanwhile, Shakhtar Donetsk, they're going to be taking on Marseille. That's coming at you in Ukraine, perhaps. Not sure where they're playing their game. At the Volkspark Stadium, that must be over in Germany. They played each other twice since 2009. 2 wins for Shakhtar, nothing for Marseille. 0 draws, of course, the biggest win for Shakhtar was a 2-0 win, scoring 4 goals in those 2 matches. 2 goals a game on average. Meanwhile, Marseille, just the 1 goal scored in those 2 matches, 0.50 goals a game. They've just won once in the last 6, have Marseille. 42% form for them at the moment. Shakhtar, though, 58% form for them at the moment. Just 1 win in 4 heading into this. Now, these two sides did lock horns in the UEFA Cup way back in 2009. And last time they played each other in Ukraine, it was a 2-0 win for Shakhtar back in April 2009. They're on the back of a 2-0. They're actually on the last competitive match for Shakhtar was in the Champions League, I think, at Porto. 5-3 loss for them. Meanwhile, the last match for Marseille was a 1-0 loss to Lyon. But they are taking on Metz this week, and they're expected to win that game. Shakhtar, next match is this match. Of course, we'll see if they can come out on top. 2-1 is your Shakhtar here. 13-10 is your Marseille. 12-5 is your draw. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Shakhtar. I don't believe in the Marseille project at the moment. I think they're struggling with Gattuso in charge. Meanwhile, we have Galatasaray over in Turkey up against Sparta Prague coming at you. Never played each other, these two sides. Of course, Galatasaray on a really good form right now. 6 on the bounce, of course, 100% form. In fact, they haven't lost in the last 11 matches, and they haven't lost any of the last 11 home matches, winning 8 of them in a row. Up against the Sparta Prague side, also on 100% form for them, winning 6 on the spin as well. Last time around, last match for Galatasaray was a 4-2 win over Bandırmaspor in the Turkish Round of 16 Cup. Last competitive match for Sparta Prague was a 2-1 win over Tbilisi way back in December the 17th. They're taking on Kovina this weekend. Expected to win that game. Galatasaray taking on Başakşehir at home, and they're expected to win that game as well. The odds for this one, 10-7 on is Galatasaray, 13-5. The draw, 4-1 is your long shot. It's going to go with a 3-0 win for Galatasaray. Big win, a statement win to maybe already put the game to bed on this one. Meanwhile, over in the Dutchlands, we fired against Roma, of course. A bit of a zing-zong affair over the Stadion Feyenoord. Played each other 5 times, 2015. 1 win for Feyenoord, 3 for Roma. 1 draw, of course. The biggest win, and the only win for Feyenoord was a 1-0 win, scoring 4 goals in 5 matches, 0.80 goals a game. Roma, biggest win for them was a 4-1 win. They've scored 8 goals in those 5 games, 1.60 goals a game. They're on 67% form. Roma right now, 4 wins on the spin. Second, of course, what we're looking at, Feyenoord, though, haven't lost in the last 6 matches, on 83% form for them. And of course, these two sides locking horns last time around in the Dutchlands. It was a 1-0 win for Feyenoord back in April 2023 in the Europa League knockout stages quarter-final match. Of course, Feyenoord on the back of a 2-0 win over AZ Alkmaar in the quarter-final of the Cup. Roma with a 4-0 win over Cagliari over in Serie A last weekend. They're expected to take on Inter this weekend, and they're expected to lose. Feyenoord taking on Sparta Rotterdam over in the Eredivisie, and they're expected to win that one as well. The odds for this one, though, we are looking at Feyenoord even Steens for the victory. 5-2 is your Roma. 13-5 is the draw. I'm going to go with the Roma victory on the road here. Bookies have Feyenoord, but I think under De Rossi right now Roma are bubbling, and of course they'll fancy their chances to put this game in their hands for the second leg with a win over in Holland or Dutchland. Meanwhile, Braga up against Qarabağ over in Portugal. Play each other never, these two sides, but Braga on 75% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 5. Up against the Qarabağ side on 83% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 7 away matches, winning 5 out of the last 6 matches, of course. They did play Sabah Mazir in the Azerbaijan Cup quarterfinal. They did lose with a bit of a surprise there. Braga on the back of a 1-win over Moreirense in the Portuguese top flight. They're taking on Sporting Lisbon this weekend. They're expected to lose. Qarabağ taking on Zabia Masia once again, this time in the Premier League. Don't know about the odds on that one. Meanwhile, the odds for this one, Braga 11-4 on for the victory, 4-1 the draw, 6-1 is your long shot. So that's Qarabağ going to go with a 2-1 win on this one. Bit of a spicy affair, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. Meanwhile, Lens up against Freiburg, coming at you over in La France. Of course, Lens in Ligue 1, Freiburg in the Bundesliga at the Stade Bollard Deleris. Play each other never, these two sides. Lens on 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3, of course, in the last 6. Meanwhile, Freiburg, 42% form for them right now, 2 defeats on the spin, haven't won in the last 3 away matches. Freiburg on the back of a 3-1 loss at home to Stuttgart. Lens with the 1-win over Nantes, of course, back-to-back clean sheets for them, back-to-back away wins as well. Lens coming at you in Strasbourg this week, taking on Strasbourg at home, expected to win that game. Freiburg taking on Dortmund, I believe, very, very soon, in fact. They might even be playing today, which is a Friday. Yeah, they're playing today, of course. But the odds for this one, Lens are 20-17 on for the victory, 5-2 the draw, 10-3 is your long shots. It's a tight one. I am going to go with a draw on that one. Can't really call on that one. Next we have AC Milan up against Rennes. That's right, over in Milan. Of course, these two sides have played each other never, according to my eyes. Milan, though, 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Haven't lost in the last 4 matches. Rennes, though, 100% form for them right now. 8 wins on the spin, or at least they're unbeaten in the last 8 matches, winning 6 on the bounce, of course. They did beat Sochaux and Montpellier in the Coupe de France, round of 16, 6-1 winners there. Milan on the back of a 3-2 win over Frosinone in Serie A. They're taking on Napoli this weekend. They're expected to beat them at home, with Stade Rennes taking on Le Havre in Ligue 1, and they're expected to win that game as well. The odds for this one, 13-8 on is your Milan, 3-1 the draw, 70-4 your away win. Going to go with a narrow 1-0 win. 1-0 win for Milan on this one. And then wrap it up. It's Benfica. It is, of course, Toulouse over in Portugal. Now, let's get into this one now, shall we? If I can see it. Where are you? 1, 2, 3. There we are. Benfica, of course, coming at you at the Estadio de la Sport Lisbonne is Benfica. Pleasure to watch just one time these two sides. Of course, we'll talk about that shortly. Benfica, though, on 83% form for them right now, winning 5 of the last 6. Toulouse, though, winning 3 and losing 3 of the last 6. 50% form for them, of course. They did play each other just at one time. It was a friendly way back in July 2011. It was a 1-0 win for Benfica, but the hosts are on the back of a 2-1 win over Vizelia in the Portuguese quarter-final cup. They are through to the semis, I believe. Meanwhile, Toulouse up against, they took on Reims. They won 3-2 win, over in Ligue 1. Taking on Nantes this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Benfica taking on Guadamares on the road. They're expected to win that game as well. But the odds for this one, we have got Benfica 11-4 for the victory here, 50-4. The draw 7-1 is your long shots. Let's go 2-0 win. The popular vote on this one for Benfica. Now, of course, the big question is, what about my double header here? I might go Galatasaray for the victory here. I did go 3-0. It's quite a big one, quite a big score line here. It's difficult. I'm gonna go with the Benfica victory here over Toulouse. I think they'll win, and of course put themselves in the commanding position. Of course, again, don't forget to do your booster. Don't forget to do the other bits and pieces. I'm going to do that off camera. But until then, guys, make sure you subscribe. Your one-stop shop for the Europa League continues, and we'll be back again for the second legs of these playoffs next time around. But until then, I'll see you soon for the next one. Be safe out there, and of course, keep on predicting.